Well, top of the morning to ya. I'm Liam the Leprechaun, and I've got a wee secret to share. ZJZDesigns.com has just unveiled their brand new St. Patrick's Day apparel. Featuring yours truly, of course. From cheeky tees to lucky prints, these designs are brimming with charm and plenty of gold. Whether you're heading to a parade or just feeling the Irish spirit, you look grand in these threads. So what are you waiting for? Skip the rainbow and head straight to ZJZDesigns.com. You'll find the pot of gold in your cart. No magic required. ZJZDesigns.com, where style is always in season.
It may be winter, but spring sports are registering now for Everplay Sports and Social. Barrett again from the All About Nothing podcast, and right now through February 19th, you can sign up for Tuesday's Super Rec Same Team Pitch Kickball at M Avenue, Wednesday Kickball at M Avenue, Thursday Kickball at B Avenue and M Avenue, Indoor Volleyball on Mondays at Tri-City Leisure Center, Tuesday Indoor Volleyball at Tri-City Leisure Center, Tuesday Sand Volleyball at Pollywogs, Thursday Sand Volleyball at Pollywogs, Sunday Softball or Monday Softball at Pacific Park, Tuesday Bowling at Bolero in Casey, Wednesday Cornhole at Jay's Corner, Monday Pickleball at Casey Pickleball Complex, or Wednesday Soccer at B Avenue and Bray Park Field. Check out everplaysocial.com for more information and registration. Again, everplaysocial.com. Everplay Sports and Social League. Play, socialize, and have fun.
The All About Nothing podcast may have language and content
that isn't appropriate for some.
Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome, Nothingers, to another episode of the All About Nothing podcast. This is episode number 241. I am Barrett Gruber. I'm joined by Alex Okay, and before we get started, I have mispronounced your name so many times. Avinger?
Avinger.
I've gotten it right every time.
Yeah.
Please subscribe and share the show. That's how we get new listeners. Also, if you could, please consider supporting the show financially by visiting our website and clicking on the support link. And if you can't do that, please drop us a review, hit the 5 stars, give us a thumbs up, or leave a comment. All of that drives our show up higher in all of these ratings on the podcast platforms. I want to remind everybody that the second annual Comic-Con, Coastal Comic-Con, is coming up on March 1st and 2nd in Wilmington, North Carolina. It's going to be at the Wilmington Convention Center. Artists, vendors, voice to artists, TV, more actors. We got Ross Marquand coming, Sam Witwer, Matthew Wood, Matthew Watterson, Cal Dodd, and Katrina Roebuck. So check that out, coastalcomiccon.com, or you can go to Instagram or Facebook at Coastal Comic Con. Also want to remind everybody, ZJZ Designs. You can check out new designs and such. They're coming out regularly. Also, check out their St. Patrick's Day lineup that just came out. Liam the Leprechaun is featured on all the shirts, so check that out. Great designs. Check it out, ZJZDesigns.com. So, Alex, thank you very much for letting me come out here and harass you while you're supposed to be working. So, for those of you that don't know, Everplay Sports and Social League is a group that was started here back in 2014. And it really just started out as, I want to say it was dodgeball and kickball. That was primarily it, right?
That's right. 10 years ago, we started as just a single dodgeball league.
Yeah.
And as the seasons went on, you just added different sports. The next season, dodgeball and kickball. The next season, dodgeball, kickball, softball. Next season, dodgeball, kickball, softball, and indoor volleyball. Then we cut dodgeball because it ended up being a lot of, as you can imagine, screaming and not agreeing with calls. Whether last time people played dodgeball was in middle school, and high school, right?
Yeah.
There was gym teacher on the bleachers. Beep, you're out. No questions asked. Now we have grown-ups that are. No, it didn't hit me. Yes, it did. No, it didn't. So we're arguing, there's a foul ball. We're arguing about, spending most of the time and the game time that these players are paying for, arguing about if you're out or not. So we brought it back last spring as a 10-year anniversary throwback.
Yeah.
And, we've ran it 4 seasons now, offering it again this spring. And if it works out, great. If not, hey, we did it for a year essentially, and we may offer it just like seasonal in the winter when it's cold to give some of these players like myself, you don't want to be out here for 50 minutes in the cold and whatnot. You'd rather be inside. So, man.
What people can't see behind the table is that he's long sleeves, long pants. I'm in shorts. It was warm today. I didn't think that this was going to be the weather. So 2016, you became a part of the officiating crew. How did that come about?
Yeah, so I have a history with just working with different recreational and sports leagues going back to high school. So almost 16 years of just experience with different recreational sports leagues just locally here. Went to Chapin High School, worked for ICRC, ref in soccer as a teenager, umping softball as a teenager. Fast forward, go to college at USC Upstate in Spartanburg, get into intramural program. Started off as just an official. A week later, I was a manager. Months later, got into an undergraduate assistant position, staff director, and finishing up there. I had 2 days a week in school. I was back and forth. Didn't even have a place. Hour and a half up the street. I would go do my class, come back. My boss up there at the time for intramurals, hey, look into Everplay Sports and Social Club. That looks like something you would be interested in. Emailed the email that we still have today. Hey, I'm interested in getting out there, not only being around sports, but meeting people, right after college, whatever it may be. Started off as an official with Everplay, kind of went through the same sort of process as intramurals. They made me a staff director. January 2020, bought ownership to make 4 of us as co-owners. That was a weird first part of ownership in 2020 of January.
Yeah, for sure.
And then this April 1st would be 3 years of me doing this by myself as solo owner. And that's just, that's a whole other episode we can kind of get into, but that's how I got involved, just with the background of sports. So
I think that the COVID 2020 winter kickball league was probably my favorite. That was the one where we were out at the Blowfish Stadium in Lexington, and having 3 basically in the outfield. We had 3 games. We were just sort of spread out in 90-degree angles across the outfield, and even at the time, I was friends with the owner of the Blowfish, Bill Shanahan.
Yep.
And so shout out to Bill. It was so much fun.
Very cool.
Yeah, and the number of people that came out, despite the fact that there were plenty of safety measures in place and everything for it. But you were talking about some of the events of leading through your time here with Everplay. The people you've gotten to meet, you met a significant individual during that time. Didn't you? You met your wife, right?
I did. Yes, I met her. I met her summer of 2019, and she was in nursing school at MUSC in Charleston, and I was still here. I was just a staff director when I met her. I had this plan of buying ownership in January. She didn't know any of that at the time. I met her. When are you
going to tell her?
So I told her my whole plan. She was very supportive of decision and buying ownership. I'm very passionate about, doing this, or I wouldn't be doing this. So, but the Blowfish, that was, I almost forget about that because it seems like so long ago, but it was one of the first leagues that we did bring back, a late fall kickball league on Wednesdays out of the Blowfish in a minor league baseball stadium, which is very unique compared to what we're playing on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday out here.
There was somebody else taking care of the field.
Right. So they and something different, and it was very fun, unique experience and whatnot. Bill was awesome. The staff there was very awesome. The one thing that for us, we rent these fields through Lexington County, City of Columbia, so we have to abide by their rules and regulations regarding, we are a 21 and up league, right?
Right.
Sponsored by Bud Light and KW beverages here locally. We're not allowed to have beverages out here, adult beverages, right? So, going out there, having a Bud Light or Ultra, and the concourse in the stands, and bringing it, not legit on the field, but in your dugouts was cool.
Yeah.
I think you can agree with that.
I was more fond of the hot chocolate.
The hot chocolate,
because
it was
that
cold
was
out
a
there.
cold winter. And it played out well because, of course, we were adhering to COVID restrictions and things like that. So a lot of us wearing masks, and if we at least on our team, if anyone tested COVID positive, then they didn't show up that week.
Right, and that was one of our. Don and I back then had to, from scratch, come up with a COVID policy.
Oh, yeah.
And we still have it in play because COVID is still around. But
like you had somebody checking people's temperatures.
we had people at the gates before you could even come in, checking temperatures, giving masks to participants that didn't have them. Hand sanitizer right there at the gate. So we were doing it all to try to take every precaution we could to make people feel safe, and still allow people to come out and play leagues that we were shut down for 5 months.
Yeah.
So people were ready to get back. And
I remember when everything broke, I was still playing softball at Bray, and it was ultimately, it got to the point where we didn't have enough people to field the team because people were concerned about being sick or getting sick or being sick or whatever.
Right.
And, so ultimately it all, it just whittled out. And then, thankfully that late fall, winter, kickball came back and we all signed up because that for us, for me, having kids at home, it was the one night out a week I get. So,
right.
So expand for me on the variety of leagues that Everplay Sports and Social here in Columbia has. Because I know we're talking about kickball, we talked about dodgeball, but you all have expanded in some new sports recently.
That's right.
Which is one that's taking the planet by storm, which is pickleball.
Yep. So we, this spring we're offering 15 different leagues. That doesn't mean 15 different sports. We run 2 days of softball, 3 days of kickball, 2 days of soccer, with one of those days having 2 locations, 2 days of indoor volleyball, 2 days of sand volleyball, and then, trying dodgeball again, and then some self-officiated sports, like you said, pickleball, which is growing. It's so fun. My wife and I love it. We play. If I had time, I would play in the league if I could. Bowling and cornhole.
Cornhole.
A lot of different leagues that don't require a lot of people on a team. Pickleball, you need 2 people on a team. Our bowling, 4 people bowl per game. And cornhole, 2 or 3 people are playing on a team. So those are more social leagues. You're playing in these leagues and less competitive with it being self-officiated. And then you have some of these other leagues, kickball and softball and indoor volleyball, that take a little bit more, actual physical athleticism. So it's just a lot more going on. And I've had a couple different venues that I've been checking out to maybe add an indoor pickleball at some point. So some different ideas that I'm bouncing around, and we're going to continue to hopefully every single season is the best season we've had, which has been the case, knock on wood, ever since taking this thing over by myself. We've only gotten better by each season and each year. So is it things that I'm trying that are different? Sure.
So that would be my next question. How do you keep the leagues from becoming stale, or to keep it energized and fresh?
Having good staff, committed staff, offering different services. Whether I brought back the old Everplay Columbia for last year, being the 10-year anniversary. You've probably seen all the designs. You probably have hundreds of shirts that have the same logo. So that's something that I made very
there is a Goodwill that has a considerable number of Everplay shirts in varying sizes from XXX down to extra large. So, but yeah, no, I thought, that was one of the things that I think I heard the most complaint about was when Everplay switched over to just the monochrome shirts, and then bringing back the actual shirts from when I started playing, which was in 2015. I had a pink shirt with that Everplay design on it.
That one's not on a Goodwill.
That one,
You wash your car with it.
I don't even. That one. I think I do yard work in that one.
Yeah. Well, hey, that's impressive. 10 years, first shirt. But no, just, changing things up. People love change, right?
Yeah.
Not necessarily changing, leagues, but, if there's rules that are needing me to look at, different sports, different leagues, different venues. As you've probably, like you said, you've known about MAV and BAV where we played since 2015.
Yeah.
So looking for different venues, different gym space, adding sponsors with different restaurants and bars that they can wear their Everplay shirt, go in, grab a discount on food and drinks, and don't settle just to be, the
just
same
a player.
And Columbia's growing, man.
Yeah.
In Columbia, KC, West Columbia is booming. So things that I'm doing differently, but also people are staying here in Columbia post-grad. They're not, hauling butt to Charleston, Charlotte, Atlanta, Greenville. They're staying here because there's a lot to do, as far as interesting things that are popping up. I think at least. So
yeah,
it's come a long way.
What about skill levels as far as because we know, but as far as skill levels for people that want to play, if they want to sign up and play, like you said, like with kickball, what are the skill levels that you would suggest as far as kickball?
Kickball, we have a lot of people that haven't played kickball since middle school and high school, right? So, when they're signing up, there are a little bit of different rules as far as where you can kick, where you can pitch, where you can stand. We don't, for any of our leagues, require any sort of skill level or experience or anything, history-wise. Like, for instance, if they want to just come, like for kickball or soccer or volleyball, they may have never played that sport. It's something that they want to try. So they go out and try and see if they can pick up on it, ask questions. So there's all sorts of skill levels. Even pickleball, people might not even know what the kitchen is when they sign up, but they go out there and they'll figure it out pretty quickly.
The kitchen is right in front of the net, right?
That's right. Okay. There's like a little line in a box where you cannot go in the kitchen unless the ball hits in the kitchen.
Interesting. Okay.
So, and some people go in there not knowing, and the other team will call it out, or maybe the other team doesn't know. So, we don't require any sort of, obviously if you have a background in soccer, kicking this ball out here is probably a little bit easier if you were a volleyball player that uses your hands majority of the time.
Sure.
That's like me, playing soccer and going and playing, softball. I'm probably going to swing and miss the first or second time. It's going to take some time, ask questions. A lot of newer teams and newer players. This blue team is actually kickball. Their name is Kickballers. I made it. It's a free agent team. So you can sign up as a free agent, a group, or a team. So they had a couple groups. They had free agents. I made them a team, called them Kickballers. Unfortunately, they're 0-5 right now. But you can tell from week one that they've come a long way with the score being 1-2 right now.
Yeah.
Week one probably wasn't going to be that close in the third inning or fourth inning, whatever we're in right now.
Yeah, and for the record, we may look like we're distracted from looking this direction or looking at each other, but there's a kickball game going on behind you all that you can't see. And someone actually just did a bunt. A girl did a bunt and got a double out of it. So that's the kind of stuff that you get to see with kickball. Age ranges. I know everybody's got to be over 21.
That's right.
I have played softball with a varying range of ages, including Paul, who was a taxi driver.
Yep.
Rest in peace.
Yep.
He, I don't know how old he was, but whenever I saw him listed on my team, I always kind of shook my head and was like, oh, well, he's a good guy.
He is. Yeah. There's a lot of good people. We've had a lot of players that are out here for the right reasons.
Yeah.
To learn, to meet people, which is, what Everplay is. We want people to enjoy sports, whether it's you have a background in sports or learning the sport like we were just talking about, but to meet new people and connect with people, for different seasons, different years, different sports. We have groups that go on beach trips, mountain trips, Friendsgivings. People literally get engaged on our fields.
Oh yeah.
Nobody has ever been married on our field, but I've seen people get engaged and do their engagement pictures. From just joining as a free agent.
Yeah.
And meeting their significant other through our leagues.
Yeah. There are many people that I met literally just playing kickball that I've maintained a friendship, even though all of us have pretty much moved on from playing kickball. we have stayed connected, and that was something that I attribute to playing on Everplay.
You still bowl with a few of those people.
Some of those people are new. We bowl on Tuesday nights over Bolero, and we have the 10-week season coming up for the spring, and we do tend to re-sign the same people, but. Like Brandon, my buddy Brandon, he and I went to go see a Falcons game.
Oh yeah,
together.
I saw that. My wife and I went to go see Falcons and Cowboys in November.
Yeah,
and she thought it was a great idea. She wanted to wear her awesome cowboy boots, and I had just a youth Cowboys jersey. I collected jerseys as a kid, and probably have over 50 of them. And still have a lot as an adult too, but she, wanted to do the part and dress. For me as a Panther fan, I was like, do I have to support the Cowboys? Do I have to support the Falcons? Can I just wear my Cam Newton jersey? I ended up getting a Matt Ryan jersey.
There you go.
And she, wore Roy Williams Cowboys jersey. And I kid you not, like booing her out the stadium.
Yeah.
It was pretty
How
bad.
old was that jersey?
The Roy Williams jersey.
Yeah.
It was. Roy Williams was. It was got to be 20 or 25 years old.
90s,
Yeah,
right?
probably. Still in great condition. It was a youth extra large, fit her perfect. But
There you go.
The Falcons fans were not having it.
Yeah. Well, I'm always when it comes to people wearing jerseys of other teams at Falcons games, as long as the Falcons pull off a victory, then
Which they did.
And I went to the Panthers game and didn't. So that was
a great game.
That was
As a Panther fan, I was like, man, I wish we would have went to that one. But looking at the schedule,
yeah, I got your text message after that. That was great.
yeah. But going back to your original question, we have all, like you said, 21 and up. But we have kids from USC that come over because Intramurals doesn't offer kickball. For instance, Intramurals is seasonal.
Yeah.
A lot of the programs around here are seasonal. For us, we run all 4 seasons, all the sports that I had mentioned earlier. We run all 4 seasons, so they come over. Or if Pine Grove's not running their softball, those people come over and play with us on our softball leagues. So.
Yeah.
That's the cool thing about us is we run all 4 seasons. We're not seasonal, but we do have a variety of different ages. They vary from 21 to, 65, 70,
And kudos to those Medicare patients that come out here and play, because it's not going to be me.
I think they come out and they think it's really fun and they meet some cool people, and then the next morning they're like, what did I do?
No, they have a general practitioner that they can go visit.
Right.
That sets them straight.
They'll probably, come back out and support the team and maybe not
That's
kick.
right.
Or ask me, I get an email, hey, that was a bad idea. Can I get a refund?
Oh, well, they should have read the terms of service.
That's right.
One of the other things I want to talk about was the community engagement as far as Everplay. So far, more than $30,000 has been donated to various charities. How is that money? How is it decided which charities get at the end of the seasons?
So yeah, and that's something that we're very proud of that I inherited with Everplay, with the former co-founders and partners, to make Everplay a giving back business. We are a small business. We're very fortunate to be in a position to give back. And after this year, I think I did the numbers, we'll be pushing 35,000.
That's amazing.
We give an annually, I think it's at 1,200. That is just through our kickball leagues.
Yeah.
Running 3 days of kickball for 4 seasons. Each champion gets a $100 donation to their charity of choice. So they get to pick who we're giving back to. The players do. So I think that's really cool to give them that option to pick, whether it's locally, wherever they decide as a group. So that's just 1,200 through our kickball. We do other cool donations. You've played in our Masters of Putt-Putt. I think you got a selfie with that trophy right there.
I did.
Last spring. Yeah, last spring.
We didn't win. Nobody was looking, so we took the trophy.
So I'm on the course. I play in that event, which is awesome. It's coming up March 29th. It's a one-day event. We go to Frankie's. You sign up. You play 27 holes. And then we take the top teams, and then you play an additional 12 holes. And you get cool prizes. You get a donation. I've actually made trophies the past 2 times, so I'll have trophies again. You can display it on your desk at work or home, or show it off to your friends, brag about it. That's the only league that I actually have trophies made for.
Yeah.
But that's just, kickball, we do that. Donations to when we bring teams out to train as a group for kickball, because it is our biggest sport. We'll bring 2 random teams out March 5th with all my kickball staff, ref 3 games. I always tell the 2 teams, hey, we're playing for koozies, we're playing for a charity donation, to really kind of give it that game-like atmosphere and competitiveness. And then at the end, I gather them all, hey, both teams are getting a donation, both teams are getting koozies, and everybody's just kind of happy to be out there. It's an appreciative thing for me. Hey, thanks for committing your time, coming out here and making us better. We look forward to a good season. That's the least I can do, is give $100 for this team's charity, $100 for this team's charity. Here's some koozies.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Let me see. Has doing that, even with your officiants and your refs and things like that, has that built a sense of community just with your staff as well?
Yeah, I mean, staff, they obviously they're out here not only for majority of the reason they're out here is because they enjoy these sports.
Yeah.
And they want to meet new people. They get paid as they get paid by the game, by the hour, but that's just an add-on. They're making a little bit extra gas money, a little bit extra money to put towards groceries. It's not going to pay your car payment, your mortgage. So they're out here just helping me. And I usually, for them, they help me out. A lot of them play in the league. So, for instance, RC, that's reffing behind the plate right here, plays in our Thursday kickball league. So most of the staff, I've managed a staff of 34 part-time folks.
That's a big staff.
It is. Whenever I came on in 2016, there was 12 of us. I was working 4 nights because, we just didn't have enough staff. And, it was fun. It was a lot, but for them, I cover the registration fee on whatever sport they want to play. You help me out.
Sure.
One night, you're getting paid to be out here. You're meeting new people. And then if you want to play, I think it makes you better as an official, being a player, seeing the other side of things. Plus, you really respect and the official side of things. He's out here reffing, so he knows, tomorrow when he's with his fellow employees that, it's tough being in that position at some point, So a lot of people don't agree with your calls. I wish everybody was on their best behavior out here, but I get it. Everybody has their off days and think that this is the next kickball Olympics, but it's, everybody gets one of those koozies up there and a ring pop and a charity donation for kickball. But at the end of the day, it's just a game. It's for fun. But for my staff, they help me out, so I help them out with that registration. Also, I like to do something cool with them before every single season. We go and have some fun. We went bowling this past winter season. March 4th, I'm going to rent out a gym. We're going to play some volleyball, some dodgeball. I hook them up with merch, if they want a hoodie, a beanie. I'm going to do water bottles in the spring. Don't tell anybody. So I like to help them out, hook them up with some merch. And show my appreciation, because without them, just like without the Everplayers, we wouldn't be able to do what we do.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'm appreciative of them. They've made, going back to your question, the community stronger. Without them, we wouldn't be able to donate or do anything.
Yeah, absolutely. What are some of the challenges of running a league like this?
If like I said, not everybody, players can be challenged. Staffing could be a challenge. That's why I do a lot of the things that I do to try to maintain them. I'm in a group with a lot of other different programs around. It's called SSIA, Sport and Social Industry Association. So it's a bunch of different locations that do the same thing that we do. And a lot of the trouble is maintaining staff. That is not only just with us. It's, you go anywhere. You go up the street, you're seeing signs, need hiring, call, Indeed, all these different things needing help. So, those are just basic stuff. Fields, like you had mentioned with the blowfish, they did a lot of the maintaining of the fields. We rent this space. If, for instance, tonight, if we get that rain that's supposed to come through, Lexington County is not going to get out here and pump the puddles of water. That's me and the staff coming out and prepping the fields. We literally just rent the space and hope the lights work. And fill dog holes, whatever it is. Other challenges. There's a lot of back and admin stuff. For instance, our pay system for spring's been down for almost 2 days. So, like, for instance, if you were going to go register for any of the leagues that we had mentioned right now, don't wait until I've got our IT on it right now trying to get it situated. That's stuff that's outside of my control. That's challenging, because there's nothing that I can actually do on my part besides letting the Everplayers know, hey, hold off. We'll let you know when the payment processing for our admins back up and running. We have insurance, making sure that they're happy, making sure players are signing their waivers and everyone's registered.
There's
a lot of different things that you can really think about that you don't want to think about, that just kind of happen and put you in that. A lot of players and a lot of the staff, other than me trying to enlighten them and telling them, hey, if the light's out, I'm getting on the phone with the person that I rent the fields, then they're going through somebody, and then we're hoping that it gets done by this time. So it's not like I'm out there changing the bulb myself. I'm not an electrician or
a lumberjack.
Or a lumberjack.
These are not very low to the ground.
That's right. So it just, there's different things that pop up.
Yeah, absolutely.
That are random. So, the main thing is managing players, reminding them, hey, this is just the game. This is why you're paying to play. You're not getting paid to play.
Yeah. I had to remind my players many times, these are kids' games.
Right.
And we're playing them as adults. So
and you're paying.
Yeah, there's nothing to take ultra seriously. I mean, at the end of the season, win or lose, you're getting a koozie. So, it isn't the prestige. It's just about having fun, and that's how I always tried to maintain our teams.
Yeah, and does that mean that you early in your days didn't agree with calls and may have gotten on us a couple times? No,
I didn't like the sliding into third thing. That was but I also understood. So there's the rule is you couldn't slide into any of the bases, and that was because there was an event where a girl did break her leg, and it was pretty severe. So totally understood the rule, just didn't like it. And I had very emphatic players on my team that didn't like it enough that they would try and convince me that I needed to continue to argue about it. So that's where it came from.
As a captain, that's your duty, is to step up for your team and let us hear your voice. And there's definitely a way to do it. I mean, I had to come up with a whole sportsmanship policy on my own that every league gets the last week of the regular season, just reminding them what we stand for, what we're about.
Yeah.
You're not able to just come out here and act a fool and say and do whatever you want. If that was the case, we wouldn't be a league. It would just be pickup.
Yeah.
So it's just a friendly reminder, just like it says in the subject, just to remind the players, like you said, it's a kid's game. There's a way to be competitive and good and athletic and own it and show good sportsmanship and act the right ways, because we've had some really good teams that are good sports, and we've had some that aren't very good sports and run up the score or gestures towards other teams or even their own players or us.
Yeah, but you're going to find that we see that in baseball, we see that in basketball and football. Like, we have,
and they get a fine, right? They get a fine, they get a suspension. We don't, if you get ejected for whatever reason, we have a quick warning policy. If I have a warning, that's it, and we don't want to hear any more. And if we hear it again, you're out, and you're not only out that game, but the next week. And then if it's something severe, I look at it and make a judgment on, hey, this person may need to go to another program, because we're not about that. So
in my history, I have had players that have been suspended for 2 games, not the whole season, but I've had at least one individual suspended for multiple games. I was not there those nights, so
yeah.
What is so as we get closer to the end of this, what sort of future do we see as far as Everplay? Are we looking at the potential of any new or different leagues that we haven't done before? I know I mentioned to you the idea of a fantasy football league. I thought that
that may be something to look into, and March Madness would be something cool. There's a lot of different programs that do. We've had some people ask about Ultimate Frisbee. We tried it. We got like 1-2 teams. Wouldn't work out. Team trivia nights.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of cool. I tried to do a one-day kickball tournament last spring.
Yeah.
Bring bouncy house, bring food trucks. We got like two or 3 teams.
Okay.
Which was decent enough, but I ended up just making it a field day, giving everybody their money back or credit, and they still were able to come and play 2 hours of kickball. We officiated it. We still had the bouncy house. We still had the food truck. So that was kind of cool. That's something that I'm really going to try to focus on. And it was during the seasons, and a lot of the players already signed up for one of the kickball leagues.
Sure.
And it was at BAV, where you've played for 10 years. It's the same venues, nothing new. So locking down something different, a different venue, and doing it in between seasons is something that I'm thinking about doing, and seeing if that is something that people are interested in signing up
Yeah, and there's not a whole lot of time in between seasons because you mentioned you go year round. It's 4 seasons, but it's not just 4 seasons. You'll have an early winter and then a late winter or a late fall, and so there's constantly sports leagues that are available, and even if there isn't one going on, 2 weeks later it's going to be starting.
Right.
So it's not that's it is. Everplay, I think, has, at least in my life, has become a staple, and I'm thankful for it. At 45, I've been able to. Wow, am I 45? Yeah, I'm 45. God bless America. I have managed to find my way into bowling, and we've stuck with bowling for a little while. I have stopped playing softball for a little while, and.
When is the last time you've played softball?
Everplay
You played
softball?
kickball.
Yeah.
And then you gave up kickball.
Yeah.
And then went to softball.
And then I came back to kickball.
Then you went back to kickball. Yeah. And now you dropped both of those and play
just bowling. Yeah.
But did you try any other program?
No, I had thought about trying to do dodgeball because I seem to catch and throw decently. So I thought maybe dodgeball would be something I'd be interested in doing, but dodgeball wasn't being played. Now it is back. But
9 years later.
Yeah, dodgeball being inside is kind of like volleyball being inside. I used to play volleyball pretty much twice a week, and the reason I left volleyball was because I came down on my left shoulder for a dig one time and have not recovered. It's I got 2 bone spurs and arthritic cysts, so it's.
Damn.
Age.
Yeah.
I can't, trust me. Throughout baseball, I have broken my hand so many times. This is going to be a swollen Is
that your bowling hand too?
Yeah, that's my bowling hand.
A strong hand.
That's right. So that I guess basically what I'm saying is if you haven't signed up for Everplay Social, you live in the Columbia area, check out the website because you're bound to find something that you could probably enjoy. And you get to meet a bunch of new people that you may not have known before, or you can come with your own team. Because that's one of the biggest things is getting to meet people that you don't know, and really just getting to interact outside of your circle sometimes is the biggest thing. Even with bowling every week, we play against teams that we've never played against before, and you get to know them, and somehow, everybody just sort of becomes friends and whatnot.
We've had teams that have bowled with us for a very long time they look forward to that Tuesday night running into those teams. We've had teams sign up and say, hey, please assign us Bowl of Duty. Please assign us.
Wait, we can do that?
Yeah. Yeah. We have a team every single season. They want to bowl against the same 3 teams because of and they might lose all 3 games.
Sure.
They just want to be around those people.
I didn't know that requesting that was possible. That's why we've never done it.
Yeah.
I mean, ultimately, because I'm such a curmudgeon, I would have just said,
don't make a whole lot more work for me because the generator does randomly schedule games, but I do go in and try to help request if.
Well, what I was going to say was I had teams that I don't want to bowl against.
Oh, okay.
But that's not even an issue anymore. So it's, I'm not saying that those people disappeared. I'm just saying they're not here anymore.
Right.
But yeah, so I really appreciate you coming on the show.
Yep.
I'm going to do your 7 questions here in a second. But before we do that, I just want to remind everybody, Everplay Sports and Social is signing up now for the spring season, including dodgeball, bowling, softball, kickball, pickleball, soccer, volleyball, cornhole, and Masters of Putt-Putt on March 29th. You can sign up for all of those all of the leagues. You can sign up through February 19th. It's going to be available at everplaysocial.com. So go do that. The Masters of Putt-Putt, you can sign up until the day before.
Yep.
So that'll be on March 29th, so you can sign up until March 28th. So sign up for all of these leagues because they sell out. I mean, ultimately, they almost every league sells out.
The spring is a massive sellout.
Yeah.
Participants, 1,700 participants, 15 leagues that we're offering this spring, the biggest amount of leagues that we've ever offered. If we can say that we ran all 15 of those, it would be the best in terms of numbers, sales, and participants, and leagues. So
yeah, absolutely.
Like I said, 2 weeks from today, February 19th, 15 leagues. Sign up as a free agent, a group. or a team.
Yeah.
And we'll find the right team and the right spot for you. We do take an account, age when you do sign up. We promise we will try to stick you with the best group possible.
Yeah, absolutely.
And plenty of stuff to offer. So I appreciate you having me on.
No, I appreciate you being on. So we're going to do 7 questions. Have you seen 7 questions before?
I want to say yes.
Okay. No, you don't have to, because then it makes it more interesting.
Okay.
If look, people don't make it all the way through this end of the part of the show, it's fine. That way they don't know what questions are being asked, because then I have to create new ones more often. So, all right, first question for Alex Avinger. What was the last thing you Googled?
The last thing I Googled was the new Jurassic World that's coming out this year. I just heard it on the radio and was like, I want to see that trailer.
Okay.
Seen all the Jurassic Parks. My wife went to see that the newest Jurassic World. She hasn't seen the second or third, whatever they're on right now.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just think those are interesting.
Yeah.
Kid movies, obviously for me growing up, those were awesome. Totally different now with the different dinosaurs. You don't just have the T-Rex. You have, the T-Rex on steroids.
They've completely manipulated the dinosaurs, and now we have dinosaurs that are like super mutant dinosaurs that they've introduced.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, second question. If you could have one superpower, what would that be?
Probably to jump super high.
Okay.
So I could change these bulbs.
So not the power of flight, but to jump.
Yeah,
to jump
not
super
fly.
high.
I don't think flying. I mean, that would be cool, but I think just like jumping would be super sweet.
Okay.
And I would be probably the MVP of this kickball league. If I had that.
That would be okay, absolutely.
I just like picture like GTA put in the code as a kid with the super jump.
Yeah.
And like literally you just have like 5 stars and you're just hitting that jump button. You're just like jumping up and down.
Yeah, absolutely. I can see that. All right. If your life were a movie, what would the title be?
Well, I can't say the Avengers, can I?
You can.
Yeah.
That's fair.
If my life was a movie, what would it be?
He dragged his body. And he
Man, I don't know. An Everplay Sport and Social Club movie.
Okay.
That would be kind of cool to feature, like Hard Knocks, but like behind the scene type stuff.
If you decide to do a movie based on Everplay Sports and Social, you have to let me in as one of the screenwriters. I need.
I would want you to be the Morgan Freeman commentator.
All right, that's
that
fair.
would be cool, right?
That's fair. Yeah. All right. Number 4. If you could eat one food, if you could only eat one food for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Japanese hibachi.
Okay.
My wife, she probably, if she watches it and makes it through to this, she knows
That's what she would say.
I
too.
love Japanese hibachi. They cook in front of you. We went there 2 weeks ago for my birthday. Crushed it.
Did you catch the shrimp?
They don't do that anymore. Not to the one. So the one that we went was a little bit higher scale, like the Miyabi's here. But so there's like 2 next to our house, and one of them is a little bit more laid back. Like you could literally just get, back from the pool or on, and go in there in your tank top and your bathing suit.
Yeah.
And the cooks will they're laid back. They'll throw it in your mouth. They'll shoot sake into your mouth from cooking. Like it's totally different. But I can't remember the last time I've tried to catch the shrimp. I think last time I tried, I did not succeed.
I wasn't prepared the last time. We went for my son's birthday. I was not prepared. And
Which one did y'all go to?
So the one in Lexington, it's down next to the Hollywood Feed, the animal plant or food store. I was not paying attention, and I caught one in the side of the head. So, lesson learned at hibachi, always
Be
watch
prepared.
the cook.
Yeah.
Always watch the cook. What's your least favorite candy and why?
Ooh. Man. So I'm not a big chocolate person.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I like Starburst, Skittles, Twizzlers, the more fruity type stuff. I think I have to go with a Butterfinger, man. I can't. It's stuck to your teeth, and
that's fair.
It takes you, if you don't have floss or even a drink, you can't really, you're just sitting there messing with it. And it's just, I don't know. I just can't do Butterfingers.
See, and challenge for my dental hygienist, I have a new dental hygienist. I will be eating a Butterfinger before all of my cleanings, just so you know. What's one strange or unusual talent you have that most people don't know?
Unusual talent that... I don't know. That's a good question. Let's come back to that one.
Well, that's the second to last one. But so if you don't know one,
Okay.
I'll tell you one that I have.
All right, tell me.
And this is one that I didn't find out until just a few years ago. But if I hold my nostrils closed, I can blow air out of my eye.
And how did you figure that out? You just
I
randomly did it?
sneezed. I sneezed and it hurt.
Oh man.
Because I think something popped, and that was it. Now I can blow air out of my eyeball.
That is impressive.
Yeah.
I guess you don't really know unless something like that happens, and you're like, oh, that's cool.
100%.
Yeah, I should use that like as my superpower too.
Ultimately, when my kids do check me into some assisted living facility, that'll be how I work my way up through the tiers of the cool people at the old folks' home.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll have to think about that one.
Well, you can get back to us. We'll update everybody on that. All right, last question. If you could have dinner with any three people, dead or alive, who would they be?
My wife's gonna hate me right now. Jennifer Aniston, definitely. Sorry. She knows that, so she's not mad.
Yeah.
Jennifer Aniston. Let's see. Aaron Rodgers.
Okay.
I'm an Aaron Rodgers fan. If you haven't seen the Netflix documentary and you don't like Aaron Rodgers, go watch it. You still might not like him, but it does give a lot of emphasis on him as a person. I'm not a spokesperson for Aaron Rodgers. Jennifer Aniston, Aaron Rodgers, and let's see. Man, maybe Mark Wahlberg would be cool.
Oh, okay. Aaron Rodgers and Mark Wahlberg are very similar.
They are. Yeah. I think I would have to go with them. I think that would be an interesting dinner.
So you're eating tofu, and I'm guessing that there's some what's the thing they do in South America that Aaron Rodgers went and trapped himself in a cave for
oh my gosh
30 days or something.
What's it called?
Ayahuasca.
Yep.
So tofu and ayahuasca.
Yep.
That's
and my wife, she can come too.
That's the least appealing dinner I've ever heard of. But well, Aaron, I see, now you got me messed up. Alex, I appreciate you being on the show with me. So again, make sure to check out everplaysocial.com for registration and details on the spring league. And I'm guessing here in the next month or so, you're probably going to have the details about the late spring season.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah, we're already in the works with the late spring and the summer. So we'll have that up and running and roll this thing back and you know, I appreciate you taking the time and coming out here.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Been a good friend and a good player. You know, you're one of the first players that I've met through the leagues with Ball of Duty. You know, you used to throw y'all's logo on our sleeves with the shirts. That was awesome.
I think the very first team that I played on back in 2015, we were just Kick It or something like that. So that was, you know, I go to look at my list of all the teams, the leagues that I sign up for, and I have to scroll the mouse twice.
What number are you at? Can you take a guess?
If I were to take a guess, I'm going to say 39, maybe 40. We might be approaching 40.
We're about to find out.
He's going to look at direct. While he's looking up that, I'm going to run the credits. It's going to do it for episode number 241. Thank you very much, Alex, for being on the show with me.
241.
Links to past episodes, podcast platforms, merchandise, and social media are all available at our website, theallaboutnothing.com. You think our financial model of giving away free content and entertainment is silly and you're in the giving mood, why not become an official Nothinger? Support the show monthly. Members get early access to this episode, as well as exclusive content, or you can make a one-time donation through the same link. If you'd like to be a part of the show, you can call and leave us a message, 803-672-0533, or you can email the show at theallaboutnothing.com, or you can join our Discord server. Links available at theallaboutnothing.com. How many?
44.
Holy cow. That's a significant amount of money.
Thank you.
Thank you all for listening. You all stay safe, be kind, and keep your hands to yourself. The All About Nothing podcast is a product of Big Media and produced and engineered by me, Barrett Gruber. Thanks to Cake for our intro music, Sick of You. You can follow everything Cake the band at cakemusic.com. Thanks to Muff the producer for our outro music. You can follow Muff on Instagram at Muff the producer. I am Barrett Gruber. You can follow me across social media by visiting linktree/Barrett Gruber. You can follow Zach King on social media at GarnetKing07. Want to support the show? Visit our webpage at theallaboutnothing.com and become a member. There are several tiers available that give you early access to episodes as well as exclusive content. To find links to our social media, podcast platforms, and merchandise to support the show as well as past episodes, visit theallaboutnothing.com. If you'd like, you can be a part of the show. Email the show at theallaboutnothing.com, or you can call our number and leave a message. Dial 803-672-0533. If the time between these episodes is more than you can handle, check out our sister shows, including What the Pod Was That with Carrie, Zach, and myself, Welcome to Wonderland with a me, and Black, White, and Blue in the South with Dr. Jameel Brooks and Bill Kimler. Please subscribe and share this show. If you're on YouTube, please hit the subscription button and punch that notification bell. Thank you for listening, and hear us next week. The preceding podcast is a product of Big Media and copyright 2025, all rights reserved.